a big press conference yesterday, and really not a press conference, a Q&A. And I actually thought that as poorly as the media did again, Ryan Smith actually came through clutch in this press conference. And, Jake, I don't know what you think. Did you like what you heard?
Yeah, I mean, I liked what I heard quite a bit. I mean, I think that Ryan was I'm not going to say, like had prepared answers or anything, but it just felt like he was very, ready to have conversations. It felt like he was very much up to speed with what's happening in the organization, which I think on a surface level is always a great sign, with a relatively new owner. It's always good to see and hear when it feels like they're very much in tune with what's happening, because I do think a lot of owners are not in tune with what's actually happening in the organization. They hire people, they tell them what they want, which is a championship, and then they go golfing or they go and do whatever the hell they want to do because they're an owner, So it's like, it was good to see that he was plugged in for sure. As far as the specifics around what he said, I felt like, he did a good job keeping it positive. Whether we're talking about streaming deals or the jerseys or, whatever the case may be, like, I thought he did a great job keeping it positive. And I do think that, there was some stuff I disagreed with him on, which was the idea that there's a bunch of exciting players here, or a bunch of stuff to be excited about. I'm not sure that I agree with that. In totality, like, sure, you can make the case that there's
totality.
Yeah, like, you can make the case that there's some exciting guys, I guess, like a couple of names, but I think there are a lot of questions to be asked as well, and in the path forward doesn't exactly, seem super clear yet. So that's kind of what I think. That was kind of my takeaway just from the whole presser in general. Like, what you're doing with the jerseys, that much is clear. It's very clear that you're pushing for a streaming deal, but I think the thing that matters most, the whole reason why anyone is doing any of this, the basketball product, that to me is what I'm not sure what that looks like moving forward yet.
Well, why don't we start with streaming deals, because there is news in the NBA that the LA Clippers announced their new TV deal, and it pretty much is stream. You're going to continue to have cable, but the Clippers are going to have streaming. So what does Ryan Smith think about streaming?
This is the first year we've really gone into open negotiation out there, or look, and I think the conversations are going fast and furious. I think it's an interesting time in all of sports. I mean, this is like we're in a pretty unique time when it comes to the traditional way of watching games in sports, even with, I would say, Amazon's Thursday night. There's a lot written. There's a lot out there. Ballmer's been trying to do this, I think, since I got in the league. And what you have in the NBA specifically is you probably have about 16 Sinclair RSNs, and then you've got Bally's and then a hodgepodge of others. And I think that everyone's kind of got a unique thing. I think streaming's super important. I think it's the future, and we all know that. But the most disruptive thing we can do is basically stop cable right now. And so you've got built-in channel conflict. And so the Clippers launched a $199 annual pass, which is, I think, $17 a month. But there's also, non-national televised games. And so what I can tell you is that we're making a lot of progress. We will have more streaming options next year.
Well, I think there's a lot in that. If you didn't hear about Clippers TV, they are going to have, I think it's 7 feeds.
Mm-hmm.
And including Spanish, Korean. But the main part of their deal is that I think 72 LA Clipper games will be available on stream for $17.99 a month. Now, my point is, are you going to cut the cord and get rid of DirecTV and cable if for $17.99 a month, $200 a year, you can watch every Jazz game on stream?
Mm-hmm.
Are you at that place in your TV watching life?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not in that place in my TV watching life. That said, I think, some of the notes and lessons that the Jazz could learn from this Clippers thing, like if we get into just some small specifics here, like the Clippers are basically saying, hey, we want to give you as many options as we can for how you would like to watch the game. Like, obviously, yeah, you're going to have to pay to be on this platform, But within that, it's not just, hey, pay this to watch one game. We're trying to basically customize the experience. So they're going to have names, and this is where I think the Jazz might struggle a little bit. So like the Clippers are going to have, guest appearances by huge names like Jamal Crawford.
They're going to
Baron
have
Davis.
what they're going to do is they're going to have their own channel.
Yeah.
Where Jamal Crawford, Baron Davis, other guys.
Paul Pierce, Quentin Richardson.
Yeah, they'll rotate guys through.
Yeah.
Like the Manning brothers. They'll have their own channel where you can watch the game with those guys, and they'll chop it up.
Yeah.
Is what they're calling it. And you'll be able to do that. Is that really the culture of the Utah Jazz?
It doesn't seem like it, but I think that's the culture in basketball. Like, that's how I think basketball games are watched for a lot of people. Like, I can speak for us. Like, when we're watching a game, like, yeah, we're sitting there watching that game, chopping it up, talking about other games, talking about what Draymond said, which we'll get to a little later on, or what LeBron said, or these different storylines, or whatever. I mean, that's what you do when you watch sports. So I think it's great. But the point I'm getting to here is that, with all due respect, like, I don't know who you going to bring on if you're the Utah Jazz to do that. So that was one thing that I thought was sort of an interesting dynamic if the Jazz try to do that. But I do think that this whole concept of, like with Amazon on Thursday Night Football, if the Jazz were able to do something where they had what Amazon has, which is like a feed that has all these different stats and like how fast the guy's running and like how high a shot was and like all these cool things, I think that would be a smashing success in Salt Lake, because basketball fans are very much like nerdy about basketball here.
Look at Cody Strickland, who never checks his Twitter DMs. So, I'm trying to like communicate with my guy.
Yeah.
Does Cody Strickland ever check his Twitter DMs?
No.
Hey, go check your Twitter DMs.
Hey, Claw.
Cody says NBA is back. There's an excitement about that.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. And like this whole hashtag fiasco yesterday, and Hullabilly asked, did we lose the Take Note to Apple? No, they borrowed it, essentially, because Take Note is back with the Jazz now. There's all this excitement and all these storylines. And I guess really what the bottom line here is, are you willing to pay $20 a month to watch Utah Jazz games? I'm not. If you're going to give me exclusive behind-the-scenes content, if you are going to give me things that I don't normally see, I'm willing to go and watch that. I'm willing to go and pay for that. But if it's just Jazz games and, if it's just Holly Rowe, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Give me Big T talking to anybody, I'm there. Bowler, nah, I'm good. Give me Holly Rowe, nah, I'm good. Like, give me a better product.
Yeah.
Give me a more energetic product. Give me something I can't get anywhere else. Because if I can pay for DirecTV, get the league pass, and watch Jazz games, I'm not paying $20 more to watch Jazz games.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. So it better be something unique. But I also think one of the more interesting things that Ryan Smith talked about was the evolution of the brand, these jerseys, the colors. It kind of sounds like he's listening to the fans.
It's clear with our fan base over the last, I think, 4 or 5 years, the popularity of the black, whether it was the city edition that we started with and then not even close. Okay? I mean, and we have very, very good data on that. I think we are it's part of an evolution. I mean, there's stuff I really like about the new stuff and stuff I don't like. I'll just be honest. But that's an evolution. And this brand will always be an evolution. I love the iconic note as you look around. I mean, Jay-Z, if you're going to wear a hoodie like that, you better give it to all of us. I don't know where you got that, but I like it. The purple is part of who we are, and we're bringing it back. And that's going to be an evolution as well. You'll see it next year. You'll see it after that. It's also more complicated than probably people know, because you've got 2 other teams who are also going black and purple at some level. And if you start planning out over 5 years, you're going to run into each other. And so how you do that in working with the league and Nike, you'll see an evolution between 22, 23, 24.
First of all, can you please get somebody that knows how to stream something and not have video or audio trouble. Did you guys see that video right there? Watch this part where this is not us. This is not buffering. Is this buffering or cut? I don't know. We do a lot of video editing. This looks edited to me.
It's clear with our fan base over the last, I think, 4 or 5 years, the popularity of the black, whether it was the City Edition that we started with and then not even close.
That's not us.
Yeah, that's not us.
That's just their stream falling out. And people crush them in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me that they can't get a stream right. And I don't understand it. Whether it's terrible audio, you can't hear the questions.
Well, they got that fixed, right?
But you can't hear the media questions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But what you don't, and you can hear them sort of in the background.
Yeah.
But the stream was terrible yesterday again.
Yeah.
Having said that, he very clearly understands, Ryan Smith, that fans are not happy with their uniforms. Fans don't like them. He clearly said he likes some and doesn't like others.
Yeah.
Like, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a pure execution issue. I mean, I hate to be, blunt about it, but again, like you were just saying, we do this stuff every day. I mean, this show is not on a radio station. This show is not on TV. This show is a live stream to YouTube show. So internet is the lifeblood of this show. I can tell you, for all of you who listen every day and know we're building this studio and know that internet is kind of the final, building block here. Internet is the lifeblood of streaming, man.
Yeah.
You have to have the best internet that you can get. And so to me, my thing was, and again, admittedly, I feel a little conspiracy theory saying this, but the idea that was such a clean chop, like when internet buffers, it'll like stop and then the audio will drop and then you'll pick the video up and then the audio will come back or vice versa. Like, what buffering looks like. What bad internet looks like. That to me was just so clean cut, methodical, like thorough, like just very straightforward cut that I had to question, like, did you guys edit that for some reason? Was there something there that Ryan said that then Ryan didn't like that he said or something? It just seemed interesting to me. Now, the fact is it's probably just an internet thing, but I agree with you. I don't know how they struggle so much with this stuff.
I don't get it. He's a tech guy. He's got, not having said that very clearly, I think they know this is going to be a tough financial year. I think they don't have a very good TV deal. The building's not going to be full, even though I got to tell you, they have dumped millions into that building. It looks amazing. But I think the building's not going to be full. The uniforms are not selling well. This is a tough time right now. This is scary. This is difficult to deal with. And I think when you look at what Ryan Smith says here about the fans, I think this is incredibly important.
I think we were 5th in payroll last year. And to exit the way we did, that probably hurts the bottom line more than anything else. But we're focused on a goal. And I think that we have some of the most amazing fans in the world, and they're supportive. And I think we're super fortunate because of that.
I think you are super fortunate, but it just seems like the Jazz, what he said yesterday was spot on.
Yeah.
I think a streaming deal, I think content, I think, being revolutionary and disrupting the marketplace, exactly right. That's all. That's exactly right. But when you can't deliver that message cleanly and your fans are, again, really upset about this stream issue where they can't watch it without it chopping and buffering, and it just is a bad look. I actually think, though, the Jazz are getting this right. I think you're going to see a streaming deal, and I would hope that this means there's 24/7 content. That's what I would hope.
And I think, to jump in on this, like, I think there's this conversation we need to have about the quality of the content, too, around, like, what they're doing. Because the first question I'm sure that we'll get today is, well, they're putting out content on their YouTube channel. Like, they're putting out behind-the-scenes stuff. And, like, it's, they're doing what you're telling them to do, so why are you still talking about it? And it's like, yeah, sure, you are, right? Like, yeah, you are putting out some content on your YouTube channel. I don't even disagree with that. And frankly, I am glad to see that they're doing that 100%. Like, Like, more content is better than no content. Like, that's 100% true. But I think because you're an NBA team, there's a certain threshold of there's a standard, there's a threshold that you have to meet, whether we're talking about internet streaming or whether we're talking about the production value of that content you make. So like if you're gonna offer this streaming package and you're gonna do something up the alley of what the Clippers did, you gotta have high production level behind the scenes content. It can't just be someone with a camera following the team around because you're an NBA team. If this was like a college basketball team, if this was BYU basketball or Utah basketball, I'd be fine with what they're doing because your resources are so much less. You don't have millions upon millions of dollars to pour into what you're trying to do. So to me, if you're going to build this streaming package, which they clearly are, I agree with you. You got to have a reason as to why someone will pay that, and the production value's got to be really high.
Utah Jazz Talk on the Monty Show, presented by TryDayTrading.com. Get to TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Take the free webinar, man. Trust me, it'll change your life. TryDayTrading.com presents Utah Jazz Talk right here on the Monty Show. And I see a lot of your comments this morning, so let's get into them. James Knight says, you could learn a thing or two from Holly and Bowler, Monty. Hey,
want better fucking execution.
Maybe I could. All I know is I'm not watching Holly and Bowler if I don't have to. I'm not. Like, I don't mind Homer broadcasting, but they're so far over the top. And Holly, with all due respect.
Right. With all due respect.
Holly just doesn't bring much to the she doesn't bring much to the broadcast.
Well, and like they've been having her on the YouTube. So it's interesting. On their YouTube channel, they've been rotating through people, if you haven't noticed this. So they've been having, you know, they did the Danny Ainge interview over the summer, right? And that was one person doing that interview. Now you've got Holly rotating in, you've got Bowler rotating in, you've got another guy rotating in. Like it seems like they're trying to find who that's going to be, or maybe they're just trying to put a bunch of faces in front. I don't know, but that's kind of what I mean. There needs to be a little more organization there.
Yep. Mike Chase says, morning, fellas. Have a great show. Love your work. Thank you.
Appreciate
Billy
you.
says, morning, everyone. How did your appointment go yesterday? Well, good and bad. I went to the dentist yesterday. If you didn't hear, I thought I broke a tooth. I did not actually break a tooth. I chipped the sidewall of the tooth, but the tooth itself is intact. But not even only because you asked me, but it's right now. It is so uncomfortable. Like he softened all the edges, filled the tooth. I have to get a cap on it next Thursday. They wanted to do it today, but I have other obligations. They wanted to do it Friday. It's Grizzlies opening night, so I can't do that.
Right.
So next Thursday, I'm going to get a cap on it. But I have a gash on my tongue, on the side of my tongue, from where the tooth was jagged.
Oh, man.
And it's incredibly uncomfortable. But I appreciate you asking. What's up, Edgar Garcia? Teddy Wayman says, morning, guys. How about them Yankees? Let's go. How about Aaron Judge coming through with another home run? Mike Stanton has another Giancarlo Stanton has another home run.
Yes.
I thought their bullpen was great.
Yes.
How about my damn left fielder, Kyle Schwarber, last night?
Dude. You want to talk about just an absolute moonshot. Like I haven't seen a home run on that level in quite some time. Like, dude hit this ball 490 feet, dude. Like I understand that he specifically built his swing to hit home runs, and I understand that, you know, he is an absolute brick, you know, S-house, if you will. The guy is yoked, but that was like a special home run, dude.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Cody says NBA's back. Hola Billy asked about the take note. We got it back.
Yeah, that was interesting. I don't know. Like, a lot of people speculated that because Ryan Smith and Buddy over at Apple, Tim Cook, are friends, that there was some sort of something happening there. But that clearly wasn't the case.
That emoji tag, if you will, the brand tag.
Yeah.
Where you tweet hashtag take note, it puts the Jazz note next to it, was up for grabs until the season started. Apple ran with it. And take note is something that they did for their iPad release. Apple took it and then gave it back. So it worked out. But yeah, again, I don't know how you don't renew that deal sooner and protect that tag. I don't know the process on that. I know it's exceptionally expensive to have an emoji tag on Twitter, but that was amazing.
Feels like something you have to have.
That was amazing. I couldn't believe it. James Jensen, what's up? Jesse P, how are you? Good move trading a superstar. Well, they traded several. Canad Johnson, KJ says, morning, guys. What's your thought on the Jazz and Nuggets? I mean, Jamal Murray's back. I would expect the Nuggets to run the Jazz out of the gym tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I think that with this Jazz team, like, you know, when you're heading into games, and I'm not even joking or being tongue-in-cheek about this, like, I don't think...
Tongue-in-cheek,
yeah, see what I did there? Tongue-in-cheek, because, you know, dude's dealing with the thing, you know. Anyway, point is, we shouldn't be asking, you know, hey, are they going to win this game or lose this game? That's not why we're watching Jazz basketball this year. You know, I think... What you're looking for in these games is I would firstly be looking for defense, number one. How are they going to go about defense? Is this going to be even a mediocre defensive team, or are they simply going to be a team that tries to score 125 a night and gives up what they give up? You know, I mean, because that's definitely something that I could see happening, where you're a young team with a young head coach who just wants to get out and run. I mean, again, look no further than last year when the Jazz had that game against the Rockets in Houston.
Are you surprised, though, that the Nuggets are only 7.5 in this game?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this should be 10 or 15 for the Nuggets.
And the number's 221.5.
Why?
I mean, that feels like that's 11 points.
111.
Each?
Yeah,
that seems high. We'll see. I mean, I don't think offense...
110 and a half each.
I don't think offense will be the problem.
Yeah, I think defense is what this team's going to struggle with, I think. I mean, again, you're talking about basically a whole new roster of guys playing together for the first time. Your chemistry isn't going to be there. You know, and Bron had talked about it last night after their game about how, like, defensively, you know, they have some new guys and new head coach, new scheme, like they're working on stuff. So if that's LeBron saying that, what do you think the Jazz are dealing with? So again, I have an answer for that. Bro,
are you kidding me?
Dude, Siri's running her mouth
What is
right
Siri
now.
doing? Siri, what are you doing?
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, we don't either.
Why are you talking right now, Siri?
Hello.
Hello? Siri, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hey, Siri. Can you hear me?
I'm listening.
Thank you.
Hey, Siri, can you shut the up? Thank you. Put that hoe into place.
How about that?
I don't know why she was talking. The point is, I'm a little surprised that. By the way, did you hear what LeBron said after the game? Did you guys hear what? Don't we have that?
Yeah, we have it. Yeah.
Did you hear this? Listen to LeBron James last night ripping the front office.
I think we're getting great looks. I think, but it also could be teams giving us great looks. I mean, if you be completely honest, we're not a team that's constructed of great shooting. And that's just the truth of the matter is, it's not like, you know, we're sitting here with a lot of lasers on our team. So, you know, but that doesn't deter us from still trying to get great shots. And when we get those opportunities, you take them. But we're not sitting here with a bunch of 40-plus career three-point shooting guys.
Oh, damn. Look at LeBron going after it.
In.
Yeah, they got blown out last night. It was embarrassing. And Russell Westbrook says that coming off the bench is how he hurt his hamstring.
Hey, guys.
They're a train wreck. Anyway, I like the Nuggets in this game. Obviously, I think they're going to be very good, but you know, it is what it is. What's up, Kurt Myers? Good to see you. Let's see. Boyd Lake says, "Good grief, $20 just for the Jazz. What the heck? Could be."
Well, they're not. I mean, again, I just want to make sure you understand what we're saying with that. Like, you know, they're not. He didn't certainly say yesterday that that's what the model is going to be. He was just kind of talking about the fact that, you know, the Clippers rolled out this streaming package that's
for $18 a month.
Yeah, $18 a month, and you've got a bunch of different options, and you know, and so the conversation around that is just what, you know. Okay, so let's say it's $18 a month for Jazz games. What would you need inside of that $18 to buy it? Like, would it, like, for us, I totally agree with you. I would need a whole docuseries on the team. And I'm telling you again, and not because we do it every day, but I just think you because you're the NBA, an NBA team, you're the Utah Jazz, the production value's got to be as high as it can possibly be. It's got to feel special for
you
people to wanna pay
have
it.
the resources to make it worth it.
Yeah, you know.
Now, we haven't seen those yet, frankly, but you have the resources to make any kind of content you want. Why aren't you? So if I would pay, I don't know. I don't think I'd pay $20 a month either.
I will say
really
though,
don't.
in a more general sense, like I am getting closer to going streaming 100%. Like I'm getting there for sure.
Cody says, I pay $80 a month for Xfinity. If the Jazz had a stream, I'd cut the cord.
Yeah. So like I guess what the question we have to ask is like for all of us out there who have TV, like
Right.
have cable or DirecTV or whatever it is, you know, Xfinity, whatever. You know, what is it that you watch on TV and what are you willing to give up? Because I can tell you right now, for me personally, I don't watch a lot of like shows or things like that. Like for me, it's just pretty much sports and that's it.
I watch Chicago PD.
Great show.
Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Wrexham
Mm-hmm.
and sports. That's it. I mean, there's some other things mixed in there, but
Odds and ends.
I
but
mean, the
nothing.
reality is if I had YouTube TV, if I had the avenue to watch the NBA on my TV and the NFL on my TV and college football, like that's what I need.
Yeah.
And frankly, for us, our TV expenses are tax write-offs. So I'm a little more willing to pay.
Right.
But, man, I'm telling you, I just look at the way this thing's going. If the Jazz don't have a deal, I think you're going to have a real hard time. I think you're going to have a real hard time convincing fans. Boyd Lake says maybe it really isn't at it. We're talking about if you're just tuning in. I'll play this bite again. And I think it's on the streaming deal. I don't remember what video it's on.
I think it's on the Jersey one. My instinct says
Okay,
It's clear with our fan base over the last, I think, 4 or 5 years, the popularity of the black, whether it was the City Edition that we started with and then not even close.
I mean, like, how does it just flip like that?
You see what I mean?
Like, how does it just in the midstream, it just like stops and starts somewhere else? I don't think they edited that.
I don't think so either. I honestly
I just
don't
think they're not
so
good
either.
at streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, and what that says to me, it's one of two things. So, like, you're either doing this on Wi-Fi, which I highly doubt. I highly doubt that they'd be doing it on Wi-Fi. But number two, you are hardwired with an actual internet cable that's plugged into a port, and it's just not enough bandwidth. And that's what happened to their stream. Now, I've never seen it in my time. Again, I know I'm a youngin' and everything, but I've never seen a streaming issue be that clean cut. Like, I've never seen it be like that is what an edit
usually
looks
it
like.
pixelates or pauses.
Yes.
Your mom.
But then it'll pick it back up and you'll be good again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so,
I've never seen it cut like that either.
and again, like I said earlier, for those of you just joining, I do feel a little like I'm, conspiracy theorist guy here saying, hey, that was an edit. I don't think they edited that, but like, it's just so clean. It begs the question.
James Knight says, stop nitpicking about video quality like you guys are better than that. Stick to things that matter. This matters.
Yeah, this
Are you
absolutely
serious?
matters,
Like,
dude.
did
Yeah.
you read you
Yeah.
didn't see it. The comment
look at
section,
it.
the comment section on this video for the Jazz was, I mean, people were pissed about it because you couldn't watch it. Like I was watching it yesterday night, preparing for the show.
Right.
And I was like, dude, what is going on with my internet? Like, my wife had internet issues yesterday. We pay a company $10 a month to basically be our IT people.
Yep.
Like, I thought it was us. And then I was sitting here watching it again this morning thinking, okay, my internet's fine. And it was doing the same thing.
That's fucking interesting, man.
So I was reading the comments and people were like, how come you can't fix this? Please fix the feed. The feed sucks. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a minor thing. YouTube and streaming is not optional in this day and age.
Yeah.
The stream is you have to And again, not just because we're involved in it, but how are the Utah Grizzlies more able to pull this off than you are?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the other thing I think that frustrates me is we know how to do this.
Yeah.
We went to Boise and streamed a game. We were at the arena, the Weber County Ice Sheet in Ogden, streaming live video.
Yeah.
And it had no issues with it. You're the Utah Jazz at Vivint Arena, and for like the third straight time, you can't get a stream right.
Yeah, and admittedly, clearly they're taking notes, no pun intended, because they fixed the audio issue, right? Like,
yeah.
And I know you said you're totally right. You can't hear the reporters, but what I'm saying is the last one you couldn't hear the guys talking at the podium. Like, so they fixed that, and I give them credit for that.
And the way you fix that is you have a wireless microphone plugged into your feed. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
And you have 2 interns or 2 media people that pass those mics around.
Yep.
It's common practice in the NBA.
Yeah. So James,
why are they not doing it?
James, with your comment, this does matter. And if you don't think it matters, go watch the stream, then come back to the show and tell us it doesn't matter.
Boyd Lake says, I have a goal too, and it's not to spend $20 on a single stream. Are we making too much out of this?
No, I mean, I think that's a valid point though. Like I like, what did you say to me this morning? Hey, I was looking at a bunch of financial stuff, and there's a slowdown coming. Like, people are very, people are very on edge about spending more money than they need to spend right now. And I gotta say, I don't blame you, man. Like, the value proposition, whether we're talking about your mortgage or rent or buying a car or streaming an extra thing, like the value proposition has to be there.
Exactly right, NY Monty fan. He says, I'd rather give my $19.99 to the Utah Jazz than the League Pass. They did a behind-the-scenes doc a few years ago that was pretty cool.
And that was a few years ago, and you still remember that.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes. NY Monty fan says, I buy League Pass every year. Otherwise, I can't watch the games, obviously. Exactly right. James Knight says, other NBA teams do roll out way more insightful content than the Jazz do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do, and I think that, I'm tired of hearing about, like yesterday, one of the things that I didn't love at this press conference was Danny Ainge and Ryan Smith talking about the fact that the margin for error in a, quote, small market is tiny or minuscule or whatever the hell they said.
Yeah.
And again, you're not wrong. That's not wrong. What's wrong is even talking about it. I just wouldn't even ever talk about it. Like, just stay on the talking points. Just stay on.
You're not a small market.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
You act like a small market. You're not a small market. And I've railed about that before. Teddy Wayman says, I pay $75 a month for Fubo just to watch the Jazz. So, yeah, I definitely pay $20. See? And that makes a lot of sense, Teddy, because you're right. You pay a lot. Yeah. Funky Orion says, hello, guys. Good luck to the Jazz on their first game against the Nuggets. Funky, good to see you. MY Monty fan says, get League Pass. It's cheaper. It is. Very much. Mark Hale says, that production is like breaking up with your girlfriend via text. See,
well,
nobody does that, though.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Mark, let's not get crazy. Like,
No.
Nobody breaks up with their girlfriend.
Nope.
He broke up with you over text message?
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, next question. Yeah, please respect my privacy. Next question.
I mean,
No, you don't have to sweat bullets.
I don't know nothing about that.
Fucking,
Three-fourths of this is inaccurate.
Boyd Lake says, how does a local university have such better production value than an NBA franchise? I have no idea.
I think the question's easy, or the answer's simple. It's in their culture. It's an intentional choice to be better.
And that's what I'm trying to get. Man, we just had this conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
Everything you do has to be about, listen, man, if you're the Utah Jazz and one of your guys is taking a dump, how are we going to get that on video?
Yeah.
How are we going to create content?
No, but I mean,
honest to
all
God.
jokes aside, it's true.
Honest to God. And it's just something that you can't fix. You got to go all in because the money is there to be made and you got to go all in. Let's see. Teddy Wayman says, I have League Pass, but I can't watch Jazz games on it. So you have League Pass mobile. Then is my guess.
Yeah,
because on DirecTV League Pass, that's how I watch Jazz games.
But that might be the best example right there. Hey, a guy in Teddy Wayman, right? Guy who works his ass off all day long, probably comes home and really wants to watch a Jazz game, right? Crack a beer open, watch a Jazz game, whatever. You know? Hey, I have League Pass and I can't watch it. Oh, that's right, because it's probably on mobile. That's right, there's restrictions. That's my problem, man. There shouldn't be restrictions.
Look at the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
I have no idea where to watch their games. I have to go hunting. Was it on ESPN? Wait, no, this is this is TBS.
So wait, is it 245, 206, 13, 4,
219,
219, 242?
You know what I mean? Like, in all seriousness, I'm not even, like, if I don't know where to find your games, what good are your games? You know, Mike Maples, good morning. He says, morning hack and mini hack. $10 to start due to being such a new team, and it's up to us. And up it as you build. Well,
I actually don't disagree with that. I think that's a very fair point. Hey, we're not a good team right now, so the price is going to reflect that. When we're winning championships, yeah, you're going to pay more for that. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah. Teddy Wayman says, you're right, I do have it on mobile. Mike Burton says, I have NBA League Pass, but it lags.
See, again, like, this is what your fans have to deal with. And again, I do give Ryan Smith credit. He straight up said yesterday, dude, like, we have to give our fans a better experience. That has to happen. So I 100% agree with you. They are getting this right. But now, again, whether we're talking Danny Ainge and building a championship team or streaming deals or highlighter yellow jerseys or whatever, they have to execute now.
Yep.
That's the portion they're struggling with.
Totally agree. Renee Roca, good morning to you. That's what's frustrating about live sports moving towards streaming. There's a million different streaming services. It's funny. One of the things we're going to talk about today is how much money you spend. So I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk last night, oddly enough, while I was taking the Browns to the Super Bowl.
That's right, T.
And not even joking. And it like hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Because Gary Vaynerchuk was saying, if you're not paying attention to the economy and you're paying for Hulu, Netflix, YouTube TV, this service, that service, you're going broke. And he said, have you looked at your credit card statement lately? I don't use my credit card for stuff like that. I only use Apple. I looked at my Apple service, and do you know what the number one thing that I buy is? Shoes.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
So what did I do last night? I deleted the Nike app and the sneakers app off my phone.
Okay. Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and open those up then. Okay.
I don't have them.
All
and
right.
I deleted them. And I was looking at what I spend my money on. It's quite literally DirecTV and shoes.
Yeah.
Now, both of them are tax write-offs for us, but that doesn't mean I can afford it.
Yeah.
So you listen to a guy like Renee, who's like, hey, man, I got to have Fubo. I got to have this. I got to have that. Who can afford 5, 6, 7, 8 different streaming services and then pay $20 to the Jazz to watch their games?
Yeah.
Who can afford that?
Yep.
I can't. Yeah, I can tell you that right now. I'm a small business owner. I can't afford to pay 10 streaming services. My wife yesterday out of nowhere canceled our Netflix subscription live on the show because she's like, well, are we ever watching it? And now that we're hooked up with the Utah Grizzlies, we have games on Friday and Saturday night. Next weekend we'll be in Boise. Like, I mean, who has it? Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It really does not. So I think that's Renee. I think that's a very salient point. How many services are we going to have to pay for to watch the Jazz?
Yeah.
This year it's probably 2 or 3. Your cable bill, your NBA League Pass, and if you're Teddy Wayman, you're streaming it or you're on Fubo or
yeah.
It's crazy right now. It's crazy right now. It makes me crazy. Holabilly says Netflix is the only streaming service I pay for because my parents use my account. Well,
you know.
Way to give back to the...
And by the way, Netflix just rolled out the ad program, so now there's ads on Netflix.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's a natural progression. I think that it's just
I would agree with that.
Happen. Yeah.
Yep. Anthony Mitchell says, good morning. Living in New Jersey, I try to watch your podcast every day. You guys really make the day go by. Continue the good work. Oh, wow.
I appreciate that, bro.
Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, what's your vibe, man? Who are you? What's your team? What are you looking for? You know what I mean? Like
Knicks, Nets,
Devils,
Giants. Nobody's a Giants fan right now, I don't think.
Red Sox.
Zachy Poo and the Jets. Good to see you, man. I appreciate you. I already read that one. Justin South says, I don't pay for a single one of those streaming services. I just mooch off friends and family. Heck, I don't even have my own Prime account.
Wow.
My man.
That's actually impressive
My
in
man.
today's day and age.
Hey, look at Anthony.
Hey.
Let's go. Cadizzle.
Yes.
He's a Nets fan.
Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Yeah, he's Kevin Durant, man.
Is that a real question?
Little Kevy Poo.
What you want me to say to that?
By the way, not for nothing.
Yeah.
Did you see my Sixers last night?
Yeah, disappointing.
Yeah, that was not good. Boston ran the Sixers out, but I will say, fat ass ain't so fat anymore.
No, he looks good.
Come on, James
Harden.
Harden. What did I tell you? And the trend is, and again, on October 19th, these guys on Prove It deals, I can't remember a year where there are so many guys on Prove It deals.
Yep.
James Harden, Kyrie Irving are two of the biggest ones.
I'm going to say this again.
I'm telling you. By the way, where's Carmelo Anthony end up? Because somebody's going to sign him.
Somewhere. I mean,
Somebody's going to sign him.
Yeah.
But the Sixers are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think they did not play well last night. I think the Celtics came out with a point to prove. And also, by the way, good to have the NBA back.
Yeah.
In games that matter. Hey, there's my guy, Jeremy Bolton. How are you, buddy? I like your guys' smiles. Well, thanks. Mine are not great. I just think it's, one of those things. I think that Sixers-Celtics thing might be the biggest story in sports presented by Quick Quack Car Wash. By the way, we went to Quick Quack yesterday.
So good.
And went to the one in West Valley right there by there's like a Maverick there. And
yeah. It's like 5300 South, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is 53rd. Yeah. But awesome. I love that they wear ties.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like the girl that you choose she waves to you. You have a wash pass because I have a wash pass. And so you just go up there, you have your wash pass and they wave and they're smiling. And again, I like the fact that the tire shine, the wheel bright sign has a duck that's smiling at you.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's a good time. And I think the other thing, and this may sound trivial, but one of my favorite things about Quick Quack is the dryers at the end, before you roll out of the tunnel. They're not those dryers that beat your car.
No.
When you go through a car wash and you're like, dude, these dryers are extra. No, the Quick Quack car wash dryers are nice. They're comfortable. They get the job done.
But what happened? We roll out, and we were at Quick Quack 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was
We
quick.
rolled out of there, got right behind the truck, so now the Klaus, my Audi, is dirty again. Yeah, his name is Klaus. What? You don't name your car?
No, I was coughing because, it got dirty that quick.
Well, that's why I have a wash pass.
Yeah.
So I can go as many times
Go
as I
today.
want. Quick Quack Car Wash. I think that's a big story. This coming up here at 7 o'clock, I want to get into NIL a little bit. Did you guys hear about the story that one Utah Ute was offered $1 million to transfer to another school?
Bonnie, please.
Who was it? It has to be Clark Phillips.
Has to be. I mean, I don't know who else on the Utah Utes roster you're paying $1 million for.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. Mike Maple says, I love that they added towels at the vacuum stations. Yes, that helps.
Yes.
That helps. Hullabilly says Carmelo is going to sign a $200 million contract with the Shanghai Sharks. That would certainly be the biggest story in sports, brought to you by Quick Quack Car Wash. But I think it's really interesting that you had a college football player get $1 million offer. I'm in sports every day, obviously, as you're aware.
Yeah.
Are we really paying college football players $1 million to come play for our school?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks that's crazy? I can't think of a player in college football that I would pay $1 million to.
A quarterback. I would.
Okay, Bryce Young. Who's the
yeah.
best quarterback in college football? Bryce Young? I'm not paying Bryce Young $1 million.
It depends on your situation. I mean, again,
you're giving an 18, 19-year-old kid $1 million.
$1 million to make you several hundred million.
But would you?
Yeah, if he can take you to a national championship.
Let's just say, because everybody thinks it's I just bit my tongue again.
Yeah, that hurts,
dude. It's brutal. Where was I? Oh, Clark Phillips. Let's just say that everybody assumes it was USC.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And they offered Clark Phillips, let's say, $1 million. Does Clark Phillips net them even return?
I don't know.
Do they make $1 million? He's a cornerback.
Phillips. Yeah, not on a DB, I don't think. I think on a like if you're, you know, let's say you're an SEC team. Let's say you're, you know, I don't know. Let's say you're LSU. Let's use LSU as an example. You're LSU. You know that your team is damn good, but you have a game manager as a quarterback by SEC standards. You don't have, like, you haven't been able to replace Smoke and Joe Burrow, right? Like, we know that. So let's say LSU knows that, okay, if we go out and get a quarterback, we're national championship good. We can beat Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. We can beat those teams. So if that's the case, then yeah, I do think $1 million price tag for a big-time quarterback from another school, yeah, probably worth your time, you know. But I think if you're USC, you know, paying $1 million for allegedly Clark Phillips, my question is, and what this really says to me, if it was Clark Phillips, is holy cow, SC has money for days.
But look at their boosters, because this is their boosters who are doing that. I mean.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Like, you have money to burn at SC because
on
of
a
that.
corner. Okay, if it was Cam Rising, I wouldn't pay Cam $1 million.
No, because
you have Caleb Williams,
Bryce Young,
and you have Caleb Williams,
yeah, Caleb
right?
Williams, yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me that the boosters, because what the story allegedly is here in Football 50 coming up in 60 seconds, but allegedly, the story is that USC allegedly offered a Utah Ute $1 million to come and transfer, get in the portal, transfer, and they'll pay you $1 million through NIL. So boosters, I don't buy that.
Boyd's comment.
I know. He says, guys, we're only 5 minutes away from NFL music. That's very true. Hullabilly says, I'd pay Cam $1 million over Clark. Well, exactly, Hullabilly. If you said to me, well, who do you want to pay $1 million to? One of the best quarterbacks in the country, or Clark Phillips, one of the best corners in the country? I'm paying Cam.
But if you're SC,
you don't need him.
You don't need a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, and this is the other thing. Dalton Kincaid, maybe.
Yeah.